Welcome to my 2026 reading journal setup. I'm so excited to make this video and to set up my journal. I've been making a reading journal for the past 3 years now, and I thought, you know what, it's finally time to film it and post it on YouTube. For my journal this year, I got mine off Amazon from the brand Otogami. I must say it is really good. It was my first time getting a journal from this brand and I really love it. The pages are so smooth. There is a little pocket at the back that you can put stuff in, and I did choose a black cover. I wanted something simple this year because I'm tired of, colors on it. I usually get tired of it. And so you also have this little thingy to separate the pages to make sure kind of like a bookmark to not get lost, which I do appreciate. And then in the back pocket, I did put a little note with all my reference in terms of sizes. Like I want to print, some book covers and 5-star books cover. So I just put the dimensions to make sure that I don't have to measure every time, which was something really practical because I used to do that. For the pencil that I choose, I use the Micron 0.3 pens because they're just really good. I've been trying different point sizes for the past years, and this one is just my favorite one because I think it's not too small, but it's also not too big. So it's just perfect. And then for colors, I also use the Midliner. I think everyone knows them. They're perfect. They're not that expensive, and I got this kind of pastel colors. And then I also used those, which I got from a shop here in France, but I'm not really sure what the brand is. I think you can get them on Amazon, but you have 2 sizes and it's really practical. On the first page right there, I just wrote Mathilde's journal because I wanted to keep it simple and you don't really have a lot of space. And as for my journal in itself, I did prepare out all the spreads with a pencil because I know it does take me quite a lot of time. And I knew that filming this video was already gonna take me a few hours. So I just prepared everything knowing how I wanted to make it, and that really was helpful. So for my 2026 spread, I wanted to keep it really simple as I did not do last year. So I just printed out the numbers for 2026 and glued them. I think it was the easier thing for me to do, and I actually really loved it. I think I really like this page. It is really simple, but it turned out great. For the next page, I did start it already. I had previously started filming this video with another setup, which ended up falling on me halfway through filming this first page. So I decided to stop and just do it another day because, I was having a crisis, which tends to happen to me. So I'm just going to continue because I haven't. Up there, I decided to put my goals in form of in a little envelope, just like my reading goals for the year. And then underneath, I decided to create a rating system because I tend to be too gentle with the rating that I give to my books. I always give 4 or 5 stars, which does not work for me. So I decided to create questions and then points according to what type of answer I feel, which will give me a basic number, which then would give me the amount of stars that I should give to the book. So I think that was the general idea, and that did really help me rate my books of 2026 so far. I have made progress. My goals for this year are pretty simple. It is reading 45 books, read 2 Kindle books a year, try and maintain my TikTok and YouTube account, but just pretty simple goals. I think this turned out great, actually liking that. And on the page next to it, I'm going to make my reading goals in terms of, little cubes with the number on them. My reading goal for this year is 45 books. I tend to put it up to 50, but for the past 2 years, I haven't reached that goal. In 2024, I actually read 46 books or 48, I'm not quite sure. And then in 2025, last year, I only read 41. So I actually decided to just lower my goal so that I wouldn't be disappointed in myself, which is why for this year I went up to 45, and then you're gonna see later on, but I decided to leave some space at the bottom in case I do end up reading more books. So far, I'm posting this video in like mid-February, I think, and when I'm editing this right now, I've already read 6 books, which is good for me because comparing to the past 2 years, around that time, I had only read 4 books, something like that, but I'm making a really good progress this year. I do not want to stress myself with a reading goal, but I just like to have one, so yeah. And then I thought it was a little bit sad, so it's when I decided to add a little bit of colors. I do add colors to my journal, but this year I'm keeping it way more simple than the one I did last year. It was very colorful. I do have a reading journal flip through from 2025 on my channel if that interests you. It was way more colorful. I had like drawings in there, but I just noticed that I never fully, like go back to it and end up actually completed it. So I decided to make something simple this year. I end up really liking this page. I think it looks really good and I'm definitely proud of myself for this one. The next page is my favorite one because it is my bookshelf. It is my absolute favorite spread in every one of the journals I have made. So I have already laid out everything, as I said earlier. I do get my inspirations from Katie is Reading on YouTube, so all the credit goes to her. I absolutely love it, but this one I found the idea on Pinterest, so I'm not exactly sure which creator did it first, but I usually just go for like a Katie is Reading YouTube video, which is like my to-go. I love her journals. I think they are absolutely amazing. So I'll just leave you with that. So this is what it looks like at the end. I really like it, and as I said, it is probably one of my favorite spread that I have ever made. I love the details with the little stars, and I would definitely make it again some year. For my next spread, it is a spread that I really like. This next spread is something I did last year and I really enjoyed. It is my yearly TBR. So basically, I just write down every books that I would like to read this year. It can be a book that is on my radar, a book that's in my physical TBR, or even a new release from this year. And it just gives me ideas, when I don't know what to buy or what to ask for if somebody asks me for like a present. And so yeah, I just keep it simple with outlines, and I'll fill this in later on because I do not have time to think right now. So I straight away went on to my TBR card from 2025. I saw this idea on a YouTube channel, but honestly, I could not tell you which one it was. I am sorry. So the idea of this page is that you write down every book that you were supposed to read in 2025 and that you did not read. So for me, I decided to put all of my physical books that are still on my bookshelf, because 2025 was the year where I was supposed, or at least my goal was, to get through all of my physical books. I did not end up doing that because I ended up buying books, and I was also gifted books. But in the end, it was actually, I did make a lot of progress, but I'm trying to make more progress. I was not sure exactly which book to put on my card, so I decided to go back to my 25 books in 2025, which was basically my physical TBR, and then just write down the titles of the books that I had not read. Here is the result. I think I like it. It is pretty simple. I added some stars because that was definitely missing, and I really hope that I will get to reading all of this book this year. So for the next page, it is also something I did last year, which is gonna be my book wish list as well as my books bought. So basically I do two little squares kind of, and in the first one I'm gonna write down all of my wish list. So all the books that I would like to receive, all the books that I would like to buy, new releases, basically everything, just so that I can have ideas to give to the people around me, as I've said before. And then down it is my books bought. So every book that I buy during the year, I write down the title, the author, the date, and how much it cost me so that I know. And this was my spread from last year. So obviously it was a little bit more messy, which is why I decided to make it more simple this year, and I think I do like it way more. And for my next spread, this is what I'm gonna do right now. It's basically my pages read per day. That sounds a little bit insane, but I'm kind of like a track freak. Like, I love to track a lot of things, and I love to know exactly how many pages I read per day. So I just do that, and here's the tracker for the whole year of how many pages I read in a day. this is what it looks like, and at the bottom you can see that I have a color code depending on how many pages I read in a day. One of my favorite spread too is my calendar tracker. As I said, love to track everything that I do. It is basically a calendar of when I read each book. I don't know if that makes sense, but last year I did some like kind of flip pages that you could open that was not really practical. So this year I actually decided to make a spread for 4 months. So then I have 3 pages actually. My next page is my series tracker. I have to warn you, I ended up not liking this page at all. I don't know why. I think it was not looking like aesthetically pleasing to my eyes. But you know what, that's okay. Every year so far that I have made a series tracker, I ended up not liking it. So maybe I have just not found the way to make it that will satisfy me. So I don't think I have anything to explain on this page. I just basically track every series that I read. This next page is gonna be my 5 stars book. So basically, I just print down the cover of the book that I have rated 5 stars. Last year, I ended up rating 15 books, I think, 5 stars out of the 40 ones that I read, which I think is too many, which is why this year I decided to make a rating system. I ended up liking that page. I made it really simple, you know, it was just like, I just print out covers, so I don't think I need to make anything so extravagant or whatever that is. I did end up adding little stars because it just adds something to it. And then on the page to the right, it is gonna be my yearly stats, which last year I did on a big spread that took 2 pages. This year I just made it really simple. I basically just track every month how many books I read, how many pages, how many books that are over 400 pages, how many Kindle books, how many I bought. And then I decided to add a little column for TikTok and YouTube, how many videos I posted, because I'm, you know, trying to be a booktuber, a book talker. And then at the bottom, I had a little bit of space left, so I decided to add best reading month and best posting month that I will just fill up at the end of the year. So this was actually my spread from last year. I did like it, it's just it was taking up too much space for something not as important, which is why I made it smaller this year. My next page is my year at a glance and favorite book of every month. So it is just basically tracking which book is my favorite. I decided to make it in a way that I would have 3 winners in the end and not 1, because it was really hard choosing one last year. So I just made it that way. And this is where my camera actually cut off. I'm so sorry for that. I did make my spread off camera because I didn't know it was not filming anymore. Apparently my storage was full, so I just had to change that, but this is what it looks like. Pretty simple. And I do print out my covers for my favorite book of the month and I just glue them to the page. I'll just add a little bit of colors that you can see because I did manage to film again. This is what it looks like in the end. I do really like it. It's simple. This next page is actually my book talk and TikTok page. I would like to write ideas and numbers, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, so I'll keep it to myself. And then for the next page, it is a new page for me because I have never made that before. It is a book log, so I basically write down every book that I read during the year. And I did saw that on a lot of YouTube reading video setup, but I have somehow never thought of making it. I just think it might look good visually to be able to see how many books you've read in the year, so I decided to make it and, you know, go ahead with it. I think this page looks very good. So far, as I said, in February I already read 6 books and I ended up filling it, which I think looks very good with the books written on it. It's very satisfying visually to be able to see them all. And then I thought I would show you my first spread, which is January, because I did it off screen. So I basically just write down the month and then I make a little place for my goals of the months. Next to it, I just write a little calendar, as I say, with the days read, and then I just tick off every day that I read. It helps me visualize. And underneath I have my monthly TBR, which is basically just books with little drawing next to it, and then books and pages where I can write the numbers on there. Pretty simple. It just helps me track my goals and my TBR and the days that I've read. I have struggled last year to find what to do, and this year I think I've managed to make something that I really, really like. And then on the right, this is where I start tracking my books. So I basically put 2 books in one page. So that's a lot of page when you read a lot of books. I print the covers and I just glued them because I think that visually looks very good. And then on the side, I write the title, the author, the dates, the rating, as well as a little comments of just my thoughts on the book, my general thoughts. And that really helps me do something more than just track how many books I read. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on my reading journal, if you would change something, if you would add something, and I guess we will see each other in another video. Bye.